Hello everyone, it is Pat with our Oracle card reading and messages for this upcoming week. Today is the 6th of August, so this will be going right through the 12th, our first full week in the month of August. So, and as I usually do, I'm going to be pulling from the, pulling an Archangel card, and I have started out with that already. I have pre-pulled the cards in the interest of time. So, and interestingly today, when I was asking about what card decks to use for our reading, I heard use the Peace deck. And now, none of the card decks I've ever used, the formal Oracle card decks, are Peace decks. But there was a deck that I myself started to create it that I called the Peace Messenger deck. So I found and pulled out my prototypes of these Oracle cards that I had started to make. The angels helped me find them pretty quickly, and I thought, they've never told me to use my own cards before, so interesting. I never quite finished these or published them or anything like that, and they were based on a book I was going to do. But anyway, so we'll see what the messages from this are for today and why they wanted to bring it forward. So, and then I'm going to use the messages from your angels, daily guidance from your angels. And I felt guided to pull out Stephen Farmer's cards about the earth magic. So, see what's going on with that. So, let's see. Okay, so the Archangel card for this week is Azrael is back with us again with this message, Hello from Heaven. So, this is about feeling loved ones in spirit close by. Loved ones in spirit who are trying to reach out to you through signs, messages. I mean, like, hearing their favorite song, you might smell their perfume. They're, reaching out to you with signs, letting you know that they're close by. And there's probably healing that's going to be going on in connection to that. So, because we all have to, heal from when we lose a loved one, regardless of the circumstances, even when we've if they've had a great, healthy life, and it was their time to go, we can still have feelings of loss and missing them. So they pop in and they let us know that they're around, they're here for us, and that they're doing well. They're happy, okay? So don't be surprised this week to see signs or, having certain events or things happen that remind you of them, and just take that moment to say hello back. That's all. It's really it can be a really nice connection to have, and you don't have to be afraid of it. Just acknowledge it. Okay, have that conversation with them, maybe. Okay, so Azrael's helping us in that regard, because Azrael is an angel that brings comfort. If you remember from a couple weeks ago when his card came up, he helps us with the grieving process. He helps both those of us here on Earth who are still around and those who have passed on. He helps both sides to heal. He helps people when they're transitioning too. If they're very close, then he helps with that time of them leaving. Okay? So in the Peace Messenger prototype cards I have, I don't have any titles for the, well, actually, I take that back. Yes, I do. This one says, take a peace vacation. Turn off the TV, the cell phone, clear your schedule, relax, unwind, revitalize, put on some music you enjoy. So what this is connected with, right now we are in the midst of Mercury being retrograde, and we have several planets in retrograde. So it is a really good time to do just that. It's really not a time to push things forward. It's, the re prefix is always good during retrogrades in the sense of relax, revitalize, take time out for yourself, review things, reflect upon things in your life. So, and it's it's like a peace vacation. Give yourself that quiet, that space, to allow things to just be. You know, you are a human being, not a human doing. So that's what this is about this week. So, you know, when planets are retrograde, as I mentioned, things can just feel slower. They're happening much slower. They can be delays with things. That's not unusual. Delays in traffic, delays in things moving forward in a way that maybe they normally do. They're taking longer. So rather than get frustrated by it, just take the peace vacation, okay? God, I like what I wrote with that. In fact, I think I'm even going to pull one more to see what it says. What other peace message do we need for this week? I only made about a dozen or so of these cards, I think. And I don't know why I stopped, but okay, let's see. Well, forgiveness. I didn't write a message on it yet, but I'm sure that's important given other cards that have come out here. So for the beginning of our week, we have this card of change and direction. So when Mercury is retrograde, as when other planets are retrograde, you can often get rerouted. Things may go up and go in a different direction. And it says, the changes you're experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and our guidance. Sorry for the background noise here. You are protected now and in the future, so follow your path to the happy outcomes that you desire. So you may have had some recent changes in your life, or you're having to make some, or there's some coming up, okay? So what it's letting you know is that it has to do with changes you've made internally, okay? And that sometimes happens as we grow spiritually, as we work on ourselves in different areas of our life. Sometimes it changes our relationships. Sometimes we're called to a different living space where we can grow in new ways. So, you know, that's why it's reassuring you. It's been directed by your own personal changes, okay, desires that you're wanting to have for yourself. So, hang in there with it. So funny, it's got like the stork looking at the map. I think that's funny because I always say, you know, my stork was drunk and got Salem confused with Sanibel Island. I should have been in the tropics, but anyway. He got a change in direction, my stork. But anyway, so just know that things may start to be moving in a different direction for you. It may be sudden, or it could be something that's coming about in a slower transition, but there is a change in direction in the works, okay? So, middle of the week, again, we get this forgiveness card, along with the forgiveness card that came up from my peace cards, okay? So, and this says opportunity to forgive. So, it's just a reminder that the opportunity is there. It doesn't necessarily mean you have to. No one's forcing you to forgive anyone. But it says the situation brings you the opportunity to heal, grow, and release negative patterns. So you can release negative patterns if you've noticed that in your review of your life, in that quiet time you're spending with yourself. Gosh, this pattern keeps going on. You can use that opportunity, noticing that behavioral pattern or whatever's going on, and forgive yourself for it and anybody else involved. Okay, that's part of what helps to break it apart so that new patterns that are more positive for you can come in. All right? It says, hold the intention of seeing the other person's inner divine light and goodness. We will help you release unforgiving thoughts, feelings, and energies and lift you up to a higher place of peace and compassion. And, you know, I found for myself that sometimes it's important to redefine what you think of as forgiveness, okay? That it's not letting somebody off the hook. I mean, you truly cannot remove somebody from having to face the consequences of their actions or their behaviors. But what you can do, and this kind of is in alignment with what I've learned from the Course in Miracles, forgiveness stops the energy of attack and judgment, okay? When you become willing to let it go, and let it go not having the meaning of condoning it. It's not saying what they did was okay, but letting it go in terms of letting go of the angry or the judgment or attack energy around it. Because, as I said, I follow the Course in Miracles, and it's like when you stop that attack energy, then you start creating, or preventing, I should say, attack from coming to you. Okay? So that's why forgiveness is touted as bringing you more peace. All right? Because you're actually changing your thought patterns, and you're changing what you project and put out into the world. So it's also because, I mean, Mercury retrograde brings up times of review of relationships. So there may be some reconciliation that goes on or comes out of it. And it doesn't have to be, you know, it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to hang out with that person all the time. Oh, we get some beeping in the background. Beep, beep, beep. Don't you love when that happens? Hang on. Beeping is now over, thank God. So anyways, as we come into the end of our week, we have this message to ground yourself. So, I mean, ground yourself in a very literal way. It's about putting your bare feet on the earth and getting connected with it. But in a way, it's about staying grounded and staying out of the, maybe the drama or the circus that's going on around you. Staying grounded and staying focused. And with planetary energies the way they are, for those of you who are very empathic, it can make you feel tired. It sometimes can make us feel spacey, like we can't focus. So it's a reminder of a helpful way to remedy that. It's also, to me, a little bit of a message about getting real, okay? Getting real with yourself, your life, your situation, what have you. Ground yourself. Get your head out of the clouds and bring it back to being in the present, okay? So those are the angel messages. Now, I have the Earth Magic card messages because I like to tune in and see kind of what's going on with the Earth energies. And what's interesting is we had that Hello from Heaven card from Archangel Azrael. And at the beginning of our week, from the Earth Magic cards, we have this ancestors, generations. And this is about family, okay? Family that goes back for generations. So your ancestors are hanging around. That's what that Hello from Heaven card is. You're feeling them, okay? And they're bringing, you know, their support to you. It's an interesting drawing on the card with the snake and the hands and the double helix and then the DNA. You know, it's really a very interesting representation of it. But anyways, so we have them, loved ones, surrounding us as we start out this week. And I know today is my own parents' anniversary, and both of my parents are passed on. So I know that's part of my own message, too, for that. Is their wedding anniversary today. So happy anniversary to Mom and Dad. I'm sure they're dancing, square dancing their way through heaven. Middle of the week, we get this release card. And this is definitely tied in with the forgiveness card because it's right in alignment with that same energy. But I also feel, I mean, given that these cards, I work with them during these videos to tune into what's going on with the earth and its energies. And I do feel like our ancestors and previous generations that are close by, because the earth is going through so much tumultuous times with extremes of weather, and they've been through this before, the previous generations. So they're close by to help us through this time, okay? The earth is releasing a lot of pressure. And I do feel that, I mean, August is a month we're going to see a lot of earthquakes, okay? I'm not the only one who's said that or has felt that intuitively. We've already seen, you know, I think there was a big 7-pointer in Indonesia, but it's spreading. This is something my guide Simon has said, too, that it's going from, you know, the Pacific Rim of Fire in the western part, and it's traveling eastward. So, and it's showing up more and more as low-level quakes in California, and even into the middle of our country here in the United States. But forgiving is about releasing the past. The earth is releasing its pent-up tension. And what's interesting about this card is it's like the symbolic of a bit of the transition. There's greenery in front, and then there's like the fall-like look of the leaves in back. So it's an interesting kind of transitory card in between the seasons. But probably because in the fall the trees release their leaves. They let them go, knowing that once the spring comes, that it will return. They will grow them back. So, anyways, it's a time in general of releasing, letting go, going with the flow, and you may find that there are things that fall away for you. And I was reading Colette Baron Reid's cards not too long ago, and there was a card that came out, and I don't remember exactly what the name of the card was, but I do remember its wording. It said, "Rejection is God's protection," and I loved that. So sometimes when things fall away from us, and we kind of like internally like, we wonder about it. Was it something about me? Was it something about what have you? Why did the source of supply dry up? What have you? Sometimes when things are falling away, it's part of a protection for you. It has a blessing later on, okay, that you can't see in the moment. So, but there's a lot of releasing going on middle of the week, okay? And at the end of the week, we have the Dragonfly card with Emergence, okay, which is about new things emerging. The dragonfly is, it has a very iridescent look to it, and dragonflies are very much about change, okay? I mean, this woman's, she's kind of like rising up. She's like the water goddess or something, but she's kind of rising up out of the water. So we may find that, Earth-wise, there are new islands that are emerging, new land masses that are emerging. But there's also an emergence of new things, or things coming up from underneath in your own life, okay? But also in the global picture, okay? So, in fact, I'm going to look at this card because I'm curious. I want to get a better insight into it. Dragonfly. Okay. Yeah, it says you're in an intense process of emergence into the next cycle of your life. Unlike more gradual shifts in awareness you have experienced, this one is happening quite rapidly and came on somewhat unexpectedly, without any pauses for contemplation or indecision. You may even think that you are unprepared for such dramatic changes in your life, yet you are prepared. And can put to use experiences and wisdom you have accumulated up to now. Life is demanding that you move to the next stage of maturity and moving to the next level, okay? So an adjustment in your thinking about yourself and others, your community, shedding your ego. That's part of what forgiveness is about. It's having that humility and letting go of the ego. So anyways, our week looks to be an interesting one. And things, our loved ones being around, letting go of the past, and new things emerging. Things, even though when planets are in retrograde, it's not a good time to push changes forward. They're kind of happening on their own. So it's an encouragement to allow those things to unfold and go with the flow of the process. It's part of the universe's way of looking out for us. So have faith in that. And remember to take your peace vacation. Okay? Take some time out. If you're feeling frustrated, if you're feeling, frustrated, tired, we all have those times. Take a peace vacation. And send a message to me if you need assistance with that. I am a life coach. So life, health, spiritual coach. So I'm happy to help you in any way I can. All right, everyone, take care. Thank you so much for listening and watching the videos. I know today was a little bit longer one, but I look forward to speaking with you all again very soon. Thanks so much.